Why don't we get underway? I'm going to call the meeting to order. We're just a hair early, but I think that clock might be a little slow. So, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It would have been nice to have another day or two of yesterday's weather, but no such luck. Do we have any Cubs fans in the audience? I know we're a Red Sox nation, but I just want to offer my congratulations after 108 years. You know, I mean, and it could only end in a Titanic 4-hour ball game, you know, but which was pretty amazing. Anyway, so,
Did you get a chance to watch?
what?
Did you get a chance?
Yeah, I watched the whole darn thing, which is past, way past my bedtime. Yeah, I can't do all-nighters. But anyway, on to ice hockey. So, we have, opening our meeting tonight, an update from Tim Fountain from CAI Mapping. They are the company that's been doing the remapping of our properties in town. And so, Tim, if you'd like to update us on the project a bit. If you could stand in the corner here and address the audience that way, we'll get you on the videotape. We video record these meetings and they're posted to the website. So. Yeah, that's
right in the corner.
Yeah, that's great. You know, we should paint. We should paint 2 feet.
A little
extra.
Yeah, right. Welcome, stand in the corner.
Yeah.
That should be good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do my best to stay in line of sight, but I also want to address the public and the board. First of all, thank you for allowing me to come to your meeting. I appreciate the opportunity. I have 2 goals for speaking with you this evening. The first one is to give you an update on where we are with the project and answer any questions, or do my best to answer any questions. And the second is to talk about the parcel number that will be used for the project, and when we deliver the final project, I want to make sure the board understands what we're under agreement for. There was some discussion back in February, March of last year about, hey, what are we doing with these numbers? And the project basically came to a standstill at that point. Okay? So, to date, CAI Technologies has completed all of the initial preliminary work for the parcel mapping project. At a very high level, this is the scope of the project. I'm not going to read it all through it, but our company has been hired to recompile or redevelop the assessment maps for the town. Okay? The project includes record research, for which we're reading deeds and compiling survey information to redevelop the parcel maps. Okay? So we completed that initial preliminary phase, we call it, which is about the first third of the project. We've attempted to read a deed for every parcel. We've compiled all the available survey information from both the town records and the registry, inventoried that, built databases around to support that, and we have started the compilation phase, which is sort of phase 2 of 3. That's where we start putting the puzzle together. We start with survey information first. It's like when you build a puzzle of parcels, there's a hierarchy of information. We've compiled all the available surveys onto the base map. For this project, the base map is the New Hampshire State ortho imagery. Okay? I had the opportunity to come out and meet with the board, like I said, about a year ago. I was picking up some documents, picking up some surveys, and the questions arose about parcel numbering. Okay? So under the contract right now, under the scope, CAI has a responsibility to develop a new sheet layout for a new index map, which I have with me this evening, and assign a new unique property ID, parcel ID, to every parcel in town. There's reasons for that. There's advantages to doing that. And at the time, the board asked me, well, does that mean we're going to have to change our records? And the answer is yes. And I think at that point, there was a, what does that mean? What do we need to do? What's the effort involved in that? So I explained the reasons why and the benefits to doing it. And at that point, I was asked to just stand by hold off, wait until you folks have an opportunity to discuss it, and here I am today.
Okay.
It
was a long discussion.
Yeah. So first off, if the parcel numbering, that's a conversation or a discussion that needs to happen. And I'm prepared to show what the maps will look like, what your maps look like now, the advantages, disadvantages, etc. But with respect to what we've completed on the project so far, where we are with the project, what the scope is, are there any questions from the board on that?
No, I would like to know about the parcel numbering. So.
Okay.
And I'm sure other people would too.
Sure. Okay. Can I grab a map?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need some help unpulling them or?
No. Can I use? I want to respect the camera. Can I use this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this is the town's existing tax map index sheet. Okay, it's designed to show the reader which map covers which extent of the town. Okay? This is your existing map.
Right.
This is the new sheet layout. Okay, this is what we've proposed. Entire town's going to be mapped at 1 inch equals 400 feet. Okay, that's why we don't start at 1, we start at 4. In the event there is future development that requires 200 scale or 100 scale mapping, we already have that assigned with a 200 scale map or 100 scale map. That's why we start at 4. The primary differences between the existing sheet layout and the new sheet layout is this sheet layout is controlled or developed on the New Hampshire State Plane Coordinate Grid System, which means the map that we're delivering you is going to be delivered in a geographic information system, a computer mapping system. Okay? It all needs to tie and line up with the real world coordinate system. Okay? You'll notice too that the north arrow on our map is pointing straight up north.
Right.
Yours is not. The existing one is not. Okay? That creates significant challenges in the digital world. Okay? So that's number 1.
Is this true north or magnetic?
This is grid north.
Good north?
New Hampshire State Plane Grid North. Right. Okay? You'll also notice I have a couple I just picked a couple sample tax map sheets. Each one of your sheets is rotated so it's not grid north. Okay? You'll also notice that the numbering on these maps isn't a smooth flow of numbering throughout the community. Okay? I'm just showing a couple examples. So as property is subdivided or split, in the new mapping system, there's a schema already set up to know which children came from which parent lot. Okay? So this is your existing mapping system. Now I'd like to show you an example. I can't show you Dorchester's maps yet, because we're not done with them yet.
Right.
But we completed a very similar project that we're working on, for the town of Plymouth. And you will notice that items that I pointed out from your existing maps to the new map, we have grid north pointing north.
Right.
We have, but basically this map here is going to be this one for you.
Right.
Okay, this is just a preliminary one. This is actually the final one.
Okay.
You notice all of these corners have eastern and western coordinate values. That's very important in a geographic information system. They all have space in coordinates, or coordinates in space.
Right.
Okay. So see the difference between, get rid of the buildings, if you don't mind, if you can. The town of Plymouth hired CAI to incorporate building roof prints into their parcel maps. In Dorchester, we're not. But you can see the difference here, starting with the smooth flow of numbering. There's standards with numbering. The parcels fall out of my left window as I'm driving. That's what the assessor likes. And you can see here, it's just a completely different layout and mapping. I also want to point out that you have match lines or map limits here that tell the reader which map to go to if Tim's property isn't all on one map.
Right. Okay. So it's just like the map system.
Yes, exactly. So here's probably a better representation of a subdivision here in Dorchester. So this is an example of what the current project scope consists of. Okay, maps laid out on the New Hampshire State Plan Coordinate System, assigning a new parcel ID for every parcel, managing match lines or map limit information. This is a in today's standards, professionally accepted assessment. Okay? The challenges with doing this is that the town will need to convert all the existing numbers to this new system.
Is there software to do that? Or does that have to be manual?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
All right.
When we deliver the project at the end, I'm going to deliver you a database table. And in that table, I'm going to have old number, old area, new area.
Okay.
And I never delete a record during the mapping. Okay? I never get rid of a record. Okay? I account for every record that you gave me in the beginning of the project. I want to answer your question for software. Did you use Avatar for your assessment? Okay. So Avatar is going to take my table, my file, and import it in, joining on the old number and dumping in the new number. Okay. It's going to avoid someone having to hand key type these in. However, if I create a new lot, when I got the export file a year and a half ago, and a new lot's been created, and it's not in the Avatar system now, that would require hand entry. Okay? It also will require acreage changes. So in your Avatar system today, Tim's property is 7.9 acres. When we remap it, if that acreage is different, someone's going to have to go through and account for those land lines. You're going to have to work with Avatar or your assessor to manage those changes. So to answer your question, is there software? Yes, it's scripting from a database perspective. Right. But I give you a file back in hopes that you will use it with Avatar to join in to avoid as much human keystroke as possible. But there will be some. And I will tell you, I've done this in several New England communities. It's a pain in the butt. But if you do it right, you do it the first time right, year 1, year 2, year 3, it gets less and less and less. And last point I'd like to make. It's very common that a community will reorganize their assessing folders or their property folders based on the new number. Very common that labels will be, you would create labels on your end, old number, new number. Because that old number is going to be around for a little while. People are going to formerly known as, or also known as, or was known as. But as you get further in time away from the delivery, that new number, that old number will cease to exist.
Regarding the transfer of old numbers to new numbers, does CAI and or Avatar offer training or tutoring to town employees who are in charge of doing that kind of thing?
Yeah. So I don't want to speak for Avatar, but I will speak for CAI. We don't get involved in that. We work with communities that use all different CAMA systems or assessment systems. Okay, Patriot, Vision, Avatar. So no, the only role we'll play in that is providing you the file and answering any questions you may have. hey Tim, why did I give you one record and you gave me 3 back? Where's the plan for that? So I'll support that, but I won't get involved with getting my fingers in Avatar at all. But I strongly recommend you talk to Avatar. Avatar worked. CAI has completed projects like this in other Avatar communities where they have experience. They would be the best ones to answer for them.
Okay. And then is there a downside to keeping the existing, to deciding not to go with the new numbering system?
Yeah. Yes. The new numbering system, as I pointed out earlier, it doesn't inventory the records clean and neatly. Okay, it's not a standard numbering system. Furthermore, in order to keep your existing numbers, I have to keep your existing sheet layout, and I have to keep your existing rotated view of the maps.
Okay.
I can't create a new sheet layout and put your old numbers on.
Right.
People won't be able to use the maps.
Right, I see.
So I can do the project with your existing numbers. We're not under contract to do that. My professional recommendation is not to do the projects with your existing numbers, but I can. I would need to draw up an amendment to our current agreement to change that, have the board sign it. There will be no change in cost if I use your existing numbers. Okay? But I strongly recommend you consider switching to the new sheet layout, switching to the industry standards. You're going to be using GIS at some point in Dorchester, and to renumber the parcels the right way.
Mike, Larry, questions? Let's open up to the audience and see if they have any questions. Yeah. Darlene, I imagine we have 1 or 2. Well, she's our town clerk and tax
Great.
You mentioned when you compiled these that the parcels may lose or gain acreage. Who's the onus on? Is that the assessor that would figure out if John Smith has 2 more acres than was previously recorded?
Okay, so change in acreage it's going to happen. Let me just start by saying, you're right, it's going to happen. I'm responsible for answering the questions why. I'm responsible for the maps. How did you come up with 7.6 acres, Tim? I'm responsible to answer that to the board and citizens. How that affects the value of the property, that's the assessor's responsibility.
But it's not going to kick back on the taxpayer if all of a sudden, oh, I got 4 more acres. That's not going to, they're not going to have to pay for past dues or whatever.
Okay. So I'm a mapper, I'm a mapping guy. That's a legal and a board question. I can only answer that with what my experience is in other communities. When the project is done, it's very common that the board will officially adopt the new maps as the assessing maps for the town. Okay? That's, at that point, it's fair and equal for all tax. You're using updated maps for all taxpayers in town. Okay? From that point forward, the new acreages are used for assessment, and if Tim was paying tax on 5 acres and now he's paying on 3, he doesn't owe money, or vice versa. Okay, how have I said that? That's my experience, but that's the board's decision.
Okay, and if a taxpayer is questioning it, we would turn to you for the proof of how you came up with whatever number.
Exactly. And I'm going to make a comment on that. I'm going to talk extremes. There are some parcels in town that are very well described, very well surveyed, and locked in, great physical evidence. There are parcels, I'm talking now the other extreme, there are parcels that are very poorly described, have no physical evidence, and we do our best to map them in. My point in that is, these maps are not going to be perfect, okay? But what we do have is a methodology and a standard or a hierarchy of when I talk to a landowner and I ask them for their record information, we've compiled every property using the same hierarchy and standard. So just because my property isn't surveyed, but I abut these 2 gentlemen, my property may end up being very well mapped.
Ryan.
I have a question, and by the way, we, as a forester, use CAI maps a lot in terms of town, and I recommend the board that we adopt their system because it's very helpful with Grid North and GIS applications. But I have a question in terms of information used, what the town owns, like in terms of, I know you guys research deeds and also plans to get your acreages. Does the town own that information, or does CAI keep that information? I mean, I'm just looking at it in terms of convenience factor for the
great.
town and for my job as well as inquiry.
Yeah, it is in our scope, okay, but I'll tell you, we own nothing.
Okay.
The town has hired us to provide a service to develop the maps. So the records that we research, the surveys that we scan them all in so we can get to them easily. The maps. But most importantly, the data, the town of Dorchester owns, not CAI.
That's great.
John?
The question for you.
Yeah.
How about town roads? That we be showing class 5, class 6, discontinued?
If that information is available to us, yes, I wrote a letter asking for a list of public, private, discontinued class 6 roads. If that information is made available to us, yes. The scope of our project is not to research and go through board minutes on what's been adopted,
Right.
okay? But it's very common that we will get, here a list of all the town-owned roads, here a list of class 5 or discontinued roads, and if I get that information, I put it on the tax maps.
Because some are discontinued or subject to gates and bars,
Sure.
and then others are just thrown away.
Yeah.
And then they kind of developed a whole new nomenclature for that back in the 40s, the late 40s, and early 40s, maybe late 30s. Roads discontinued and just died.
Mm-hmm.
And then as it went on in time, they figured, oh, it's not done until you add the word absolutely. Now that gets to be an interesting question. But I think you have to look at all the legal ramifications when the town voted, and you have to go back into the town reports, which show the town's intent. The town discontinued the road because another road was being put in, which essentially negates that one piece of road altogether. But there's little things like that.
Sure. And little things like that are out there in every community. We're not going to solve those. Some of them we may bring to light. Some of them may come to the surface. But your question makes me think and want to make a point, a strong point. The maps we're developing, while they're going to be used for a lot of different purposes, the primary purpose is for the intent of assessing.
Right.
Not for legal conveyance, not for road status or inventory. Now, in today's technology, it's very easy to start using the maps, and as long as you understand the intent of what the data were compiled for, I encourage that use. But these maps are for assessment purposes.
Any other questions for Tim? Darlene?
The maps that were in survey maps that were taken from the office, we will get all those back.
Yes, you will. You'll get them both hard copy, and you'll get them on a CD, scanned to PDF.
Something that we've talked about casually is having a master map of the town, which would include its roads, available at the highway department. Could CAI provide a map like that?
Yes. In our scope is, I'm not sure if this map will meet your needs, but in our scope we include a color composite map. It's a 24 by 36-ish color map that will show the roads, the parcels, what I call cross-country easements, major power easements. It's not intended to be a road map, although you can take that product and make a road map, but it's an overall composite map, a very useful map for discussing. Discussing various town-related items.
Okay, that would be helpful. Yeah. Any other questions for Tim from anybody? Thank you, Tim. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Again, thank you. I would like to just point out the project's still on hold until it's going to go two ways. If you send me a letter saying we're sticking with the scope and we want to stick with renumbering the way we're under contract, great, I move forward. If you come back and say, no, we want you to use our old numbers, then I will prepare an amendment because it is different from what we have, and I'd ask you to sign it. All right?
Gentlemen, do you want to take a vote tonight on,
Let's do it.
on the mapping?
Get started.
Okay, would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the new numbering system for the mapping.
I'll second it. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. We'll send you a letter.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now I'll get back to work.
All right, thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thank you.
That was very helpful. Oh,
Yeah.
I have one other, I'm sorry, one other question.
Yep.
I should have asked this before. Now that you can go forward,
Yes.
when can we expect completion of the project?
Oh, gotta go? So, let me get my paperwork.
Yeah.
Final delivery on or before December 31st, 2017.
Okay, the end of next year.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, great. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
We'll keep in touch.
Yes.
We will. All right. Moving on. The minutes, we have two sets of minutes to approve. Have you had a chance to review the minutes of October 6th? So have I. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of October 6th, 2016. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Same with the minutes of October 20th, our last meeting. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of October 20th.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. Budget to actual. We didn't have updated numbers for all of you last meeting, but I do now. This is from Beth White, our accountant. In percentage terms, we have 16% of the year left, and we have 15% of the total budget. And just in case you're interested in a specific, we have 25% of the highway budget left. So we've got plenty of room in the highway budget for the necessary equipment repairs that we've been making and things like that. So I will have these documents posted on the town website. I'll try to get to that tomorrow. If you just go to the Select Board tab, you'll see the budget button, and this information will come up. Also, we finally completed our documentation, and I have a preliminary, and I want to emphasize, preliminary tax rate for the town from the Department of Revenue Administration, and the preliminary rate is 21.96. That is an increase from last year's official rate of 18.66. But again, it's preliminary, it's not final. And as soon as we have a final rate, I'll have that posted on the town website as well. Yes, John?
With the breakdown, was the largest portion of that due to the school bond?
I believe
That's
so.
okay, because
Yes.
this is the year that I had to come home to use.
Yeah, I believe that that's absolutely the case. So, DRA has been very helpful. I want to acknowledge people don't tend not to give kudos to taxing departments of the state, but they've been really good for us and very helpful to me. Any other questions about the preliminary tax rate? Okay, great. Manifest for today, November 3rd. Gentlemen, you've had a chance to review it. Yeah, I've taken a look at it too. We have a large payment to the county here, and also a large payment to the Mascoma School District. I believe this is our only payment to the county for the year. So we shouldn't see a whopper bill like that again until next year. I make a motion that we accept the manifest of November 3rd, 2016.
Second.
Any discussion? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Karen, thanks. Okay, moving on. We've got several items under the highway department to discuss. Larry, could you give us a bit of an update about equipment and the roads and stuff?
Brian Sousa has been doing upkeep on the vehicles, changing the oil and doing all the greasing and maintenance and stuff. Paul is still working on the road, taking care of the trees that get down and stuff, and working around the highway, working on the trucks to get them prepared for winter.
Has he gotten the Sanders?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
They are functional.
Okay, all right, that's great. And the grader is still great?
The grader, they are tearing into it now, so tomorrow I will give them a call to see what they have found out, how bad it is or how good it is.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Also, Paul brought to my attention, I believe he said that the service on the John Deere Benco hasn't been done since 2014. He highly recommends doing it. And Nortrax, they could do it for $960, which is changing all the fluids and going all through it and checking it all out. And their price of doing it for $960 is lower than what they normally do it, because they have to go and do the DOT in Wentworth, all theirs, John Deere's. So they try to schedule it so that they do ours at the same time that we do theirs. And that way they save the travel time from coming up to do it.
You said that there hasn't been maintenance done on the backhoe since 2014?
That's what I believe that Paul said when we were talking to me.
Well, I think the...
There's no record, I believe.
Yeah.
What it said.
Is that something Brian can do?
Brian can do it. The only thing that we need to check into is if that would change. We have a 5-year or 6,000 hour warranty on the machine. We just need to make sure it doesn't affect that.
It probably would.
Yeah,
It may or it may not. But if we do it ourselves, we have to document it that we did it.
do you have any thoughts about that?
I'll have to check with Paul. And Paul's gonna check. He's gonna let me know when they're doing the trucks in Wentworth, so I know how much time we have. In the meantime, to check into finding out if it will affect the warranty at all if we do it ourselves, and how we would need to do it and document it to do it ourselves if we can.
Okay, that'd be great. I'm not opposed to Nortrax doing it, and that's a great price that they're giving us, but...
Right, at least if they do it, if anything, at least it's on them if anything's not done right.
Right, but if we can save a little money and have Brian do it, then
Yeah.
so much better. Okay, so you're gonna...
And I'll have Brian work up a list of what it would cost for him to do it.
Okay, all right, great.
And then we get back to you guys with comparison of that compared to what they would look for.
Okay, all right, thanks, Larry.
Yep.
We have the contract from Paul Horton, I believe, but I haven't received Insurance Company. If they have any suggestions about the contract, so we're gonna leave that unsigned for the time being. Just for your information, when we get a contract from an outside vendor to do any kind of work, in this case, it's some repairs in the highway shed. We also have another contract to do some culvert work in town. We always send the contract to our insurance company so that they can take a look at it. They have a legal department and they review it. They usually do this very quickly, and they actually have a suggestion or two sometimes, so it's helpful. We want everybody to be on the same page about this kind of stuff. Okay.
And on the culvert contract, this weekend when the weather's better, I get to take pictures of all the culverts because we have to fill out a form with Department of Environmental Services for doing the culverts in the permits.
Okay, all right. That's right, great. Okay. There's a request from Sean and Roy Russell, who live up off of Town Line Pond Road, to have a ditch dug across a Class 6 road that goes across their property. They're having some ditch work done on their property, and there's a pipe that needs to cross the road for some reason, and they wanted our permission. They could dig the ditch across the road. It would be filled in, of course, after it's done. Since it's a Class 6 road, they can't modify the road on their own. It requires our permission. I asked Roy to provide us in writing exactly what was going to happen, and I haven't received that yet. My suggestion is that we conditionally approve this pending receipt of a description, and then if we have any issues with what it is exactly, it's a minor project, is
Yep.
my understanding.
They're putting in a culvert.
Yeah, I think it's a pipe, actually.
Okay, do they have to have a DES permit to do that?
I don't believe so, but I'll find out.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I move that we allow the work to be done pending documentation of exactly what the work is going to be done and whether or not finding out about a DES.
That's something.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
I
Aye. Okay. All right. Last week, the Bridge Feasibility Committee had a meeting and has some recommendations. John, you're the vice chairman of the committee. Would you like to give us a little description of what happened?
As soon as I get this loosened up here a little bit. I tangled myself up yesterday with a rug and landed on a concrete floor at 90 degrees. Ouch. Larry,
The rug long.
between the two of us, we may be able to rub the wire one leg. And, the other thing that makes me kind of amused here, I picked this up and brought this over to the driveway. I hope I have the backbone to make this report so. A booth survey, which I brought over for that. All right, here we go. We had the meeting last week. I thought we were kind of in hibernation for a while, but I guess not. So we had Bob called the meeting, and as vice chair, I'll try to do the best I can and upgrading everybody. So Bob brought up a legal point about our having to do the road possibly if we had a legal suit pressed against us. That can happen yet again because of RSA 234-38 does allow a bridge to be closed temporarily in order to perform work. And yet, if a town can't afford to replace a bridge, and you're at the bottom of the state list, nothing may get done for years. What does temporarily mean is that some sort of grace period during the town's close of the bridge without worry or liability to the landowner. This is from the New Hampshire Municipal Association. Alas, there appears to be no safe haven. Granted, the mere fact that owners may have to use a more circuitous route to reach the land doesn't entitle them to money damages. That is State versus Shanahan, 18, New Hampshire, 535, 1978. But if somebody is totally deprived of getting through, then we have an issue. But what we did discuss, Steve had brought it up, I had brought it up, the town is making an effort. We made an effort back when the bridge was washed out. I think it was built, what was that, Bill, 845, see?
Yes.
Bill 845, it was put in by the legislature to give us $1 million to do something with this bridge. Well, they deemed it inexpedient to legislate with another caveat added to it. It was a bridge to nowhere. So.
That's what our elected representatives decide.
Right.
Yes.
There's pretty much, there's no power down there, and there's very few, if any, there's no full-time homes except for a seasonal home, which is owned by some people who are present here tonight. But anyway, we went on to agree that we need to start up the prep for this bridge, which means we have to do a survey of what land do we have for the town to use. And then we have to do the engineering for it, which Bob recommended an engineering firm, for the hydrology studies, as well as for the high water, the low water. That river is incredible. Mike Landry went down there one time, he was looking at it with the high water. If he would have taken one further step, he would have been district. And we have to look at hydrology, we have to look at the abutments. And then we're looking at going into a prefabricated bridge, which is manufactured by Pioneer. They're out of Alabama, but Steve has another bridge company, is out of Pennsylvania. As long as we get the best price, but we settled on a one-lane bridge, just because of cost. I'm just trying to get what the state is going to do if we have to get money in terms of bridging. When it comes to funding, we discussed this issue. The first bridge is one bridge we have to do. It's only rated at 6 tons. You run some big equipment over that road. You just can't pound over a 6-ton bridge and to put in one that's going to be rated 100,000 pounds. So we have to do the first bridge too. And we were under the impression by the EM director that we were going to get a $70,000 FEMA grant. Well, that was never applied for. And that's unfortunate, because now that's set back the whole process. We have to get whatever money we can get from FEMA, and then that will set aside for us to say, oh good, state will come through with bridge aid for 80%, the remaining 80, whatever money is left, the state will give us 80% towards that. So not having that 70,000 applied for was a setback. The communication between emergency management and the town was pretty poor on the EM front. Then we discussed how we're going to fund things later. We're going to have to get into my recommendation being a former selector. We have to look at a bond issue. School districts do it, other towns do it, because we're going to be looking probably a couple $100,000, maybe $300,000. You want to amortize this out so it doesn't break our backs in 1 year. To do like Ashland did 1 year and settle a big financial mess, and they raised the tax rate, they tripled the tax rate 1 year. I don't think anybody wants that. I don't think Jack, you don't want that either. Anyway, we discussed the bond issue, and I think that is a possibility, but we have to look into that. I figured just taking a $200,000 bond, amortize it over 20 years, it could possibly impact us about 26 cents a thousand if you break it down. So, but that's just guesstimating around. We need to get some real figures. But we need to do the survey, we need to do the engineering studies, which the town is going to do, and then we have to start getting quotes. Quotes for the abutments, and then quotes for the assembly of the prefab bridge. The prefab bridge comes up here, it's delivered, and then we have to have it put up. And according to Pioneer, they said the bridge takes about a week to put up. So we have to contact companies such as Miller Construction or Piper out of Plymouth and say, give us a quote. And then DOT has been real helpful to us. There's a lady down there, Nancy Mayville, in engineering for DOT. She's been very, very helpful. She's willing to come up here, spend time with the selectmen, and getting prep for this project. It'll be a big project. Nothing's going to be accomplished in the next 2 or 3 months. I'm just guessing ahead. Could be up to 2 years by the time we get everything maybe started and into completion. But at least we're making an effort, and we're having something underway now. It's not that we have been neglectful. We have done something, and we're trying to do something. We walk that road a lot. We know that road. Not to have that bridge there, well, I'm not going to do it, going across the river for monkey swing, and anyone else does. And but it's, aside from that, that's it.
Thank you, John.
Just another piece.
I could have asked you this at home, it would have been a lot easier. Would a one-lane bridge accommodate a fire truck?
Yes,
Okay.
the bridge would be rated for now, what's it, HC 93, HL 93. HL 93 is the highest rating. It means you go 100,000 pounds or better.
I was thinking
If you put a bridge down there, it's less than 100,000 pounds, we're planning fire.
I was thinking of the width,
Yeah, the
not so
width
much
would
the
be
width.
fine.
Yeah.
Single link, you're talking 12 feet.
12 feet.
12 feet.
The bridge I saw that's made by the company in Pennsylvania is used up in White Mountain National Forest, and they accommodate double logging trucks. You know, so those big wide rigs. So there's plenty of, and I saw one of them. There's plenty of room for a fire truck. So
These are bridges not with a concrete deck. It's a steel gridwork.
yeah.
I would not advise that you go across a bridge like that with a full pocket of antique coins in your pocket and drop them. You'll be all gone.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So, the Bridge Committee had two specific recommendations. As you remember, the way the Bridge Feasibility Committee is configured, it's designed to make recommendations to the Select Board. And as a result of the last week's meeting, it had two specific recommendations to this board. One is that we spend a little money out of the bridge fund to get these hydrology study and some surveying done to get that all rolling. And then the other recommendation was that we build or have a one-lane bridge, not a two-lane bridge, which I think only makes sense because the road's one lane. Yeah. So I make a motion that we accept both recommendations by the Bridge Feasibility Committee and move forward and get some estimates on what the cost of studies would be and get those rolling.
Should these be closed bids?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
It's a big project, they should.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, certainly later aspects of it are going to be close, but so why don't we start with close?
Yeah.
Second it, and then discuss it.
Yeah, okay. Any more discussion?
So we'll be getting pricing for doing this,
Studies, yeah.
It would actually be probably an ad sent out in the paper.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll be in touch with Bob and John about it.
Right.
And Chairman and Vice Chairman. So we'll get that. Okay. Any more discussion? And we're agreed on accepting the recommendation of a one-lane bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Larry, would you like to give us an update on the road agent hiring committee?
Yes, the road agent hiring committee has finally concluded, and they have sent a recommendation to the board for us to review.
Okay, that's great. So you have a candidate that you're recommending?
Two possible.
Okay. We're going to discuss some specific aspects of those candidates tonight in a non-public session, but we will not vote on one candidate or the other in non-public. That'll certainly be public and be available in
Another meeting.
yeah, in the meeting on the 17th. So people will have an opportunity to have questions and things like that. Well, that's terrific. And thank you for that. That was I know you guys worked hard, and it would be great, Larry, if members of the hiring committee, Monica, the chairman, and Brian, could be here at our next meeting to answer any questions that the public might have. Okay, about the process. Okay, excellent. And last, any public questions about what's going on with highway? Roads? Any trees down? Big potholes? Yes, Pat.
I think you got my email.
I did, yes. regarding
The tree on top, not the tree on top, sorry, the
signage.
it's wide open, there's a big pile of dirt with all kinds of tracks that sort of stop right at the edge.
Right.
That one concrete block has been moved well over to the side, I don't know when, we haven't been walking much because he hurt his leg.
Yeah.
But I went all the way yesterday with Nancy, and there's, the only sign is there says reduce speed, which is
Right.
like, stop!
Yeah. Right.
People keep stealing them. We've replaced it this last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like. I saw your email, your message to us. I'd like to walk down the road with you, and we could take
You
a.
don't mind Clancy?
No, I don't mind Clancy.
Yeah, there you go, they put you in the corner. Larry, just for your recommendation, there's a tree down on Providence Road beyond the first bridge, the 6-ton rated bridge.
Beyond
It's
this.
not big,
Okay.
it's about probably 6 or 8 inches diameter, kind of spanning the road a little bit, but if you don't get to it,
Yes.
if you don't get to it, I'll go down and knock it around or something
I believe Mike has a comment about that.
Oh, wow.
like that. Okay.
I went down to Providence Road today to check out your email.
Thank you. All of you.
I agree that it does need to be blocked off, because you can drive a tractor trailer through it, no problem. And to answer you, John, with the tree being in the road, it has been removed.
I was gonna say, I didn't see it.
It's only about 2 feet,
Yeah.
but it has been removed.
Thank you.
Also along, cross.
Yes. All right. Terrific. Okay. Any other questions regarding highway specifically? Okay. Excellent. All right. I've got a permit here to sign. All right. Excellent. This concerns our tax rate stuff that was sent by Avatar to the Department of Revenue Administration. So we just certify that it's
Could happen.
accurate and can be sent. While you're signing that, Anna, this document removing Holly Bucher,
Yeah, we were talking about,
right,
the timeline, we were talking about getting a voicemail for the office.
right,
In order to, if you guys were to approve to turn around and get the voicemail down, or I can't make anything.
okay,
I can't make anything because her name is listed on there.
okay, I was just wondering who this is going to be sent to.
It's been sent directly to the town worker.
Okay,
And
all right.
manager office.
Okay. All right. That's the pink page, Mike. Okay, all right. And we have here the important contract as well, but I want to wait until we hear from Primex before signing this, okay? And that should be within. Yeah. All right? Could you pass this over to Anna? Okay, some old business. Last meeting, we had a presentation regarding installation of a security system at the town office. And in thinking about it, I think it's a good idea considering the location of the town office right next to a state highway. And also the sensitivity of some of the records that are kept in the town office. I think it would be good. I would like to add the panic button, or what he described as the panic button.
Which is an extra $100.
Yeah, to the contract, so people working in the office have a way to go work for us in case there's trouble. So I make a motion that we accept the ADP contract.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, great. It's nice to have that taken care of.
I'll tell you, I will contact Tim.
Yes.
We have a front, so we're
Okay.
gonna get it worked out when the next manifest
In the
comes
next
out.
manifest, okay, yeah.
And then when it's completed, the remainder.
Okay, all right, and if he can submit, I think what he submitted has the
Yeah,
document.
yeah.
Okay, all right, so we'll have that in the next manifest. Okay,
With,
great.
no discount.
Right,
So,
right. Okay, Ryan, we have your town forester contract, do you have that on, or is it in our
It's-
folder here?
It's just his agreement that he's endured, so it's leaving it designed.
It's what?
There was his insurance and his agreement that there was nothing that needed to be signed.
Nothing that needed to be signed? Oh, I thought we had to actually sign this.
Yeah, I have the recommendations from finance.
Yeah. Okay, all right, great.
Figure it out.
Okay, excellent. Oh,
So last.
okay, all right, great, okay. I can sign this thing. So, okay, excellent. Ryan, before we move off the subject of the town forester, did you want to talk a little bit about the current use project?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really officially, we spoke a little bit.
Right.
I guess a month ago, or
Right.
2 months ago about it. But in terms of creating the current, I mean, right now, current use just resides if there is documentation in people's property files.
Right.
Which, and there's a lot of current use information missing from people's property files. And a way to start that process is having people actually help out in compiling current use information. Is actually doing. I'm not aware of the last time the town has ever done a current use update.
Right. It's supposed to be done about every 10 years.
Yeah, the municipalities have the ability to ask the residents to update their current use files every 5 years or more, but it's really at the discretion of the town.
Mm-hmm.
A town like Dorchester may not need an update every 5 years since there's not too much development or change in use. But I think that would be one of the first steps, along with actual research into creating basically a system where you can track where current use was filed for, granted, because a lot of people have current use property that they inherited from the previous property owner.
Right.
So really, that's just documenting the deed and book and page number that was registered at the deed office.
Would it be helpful then if a letter went out over your signature and probably the board to every property owner in town saying, could you provide at least a copy of documentation if you have current use?
Basically there's a template that the DRA uses that the town can adjust. And it has the legal language of RSA, why the town has the authority to ask for this information. And as well, there's a couple templates out there. The town of Plymouth has a pretty good one, basically providing an update sheet,
Okay.
which, you know, has the different categories or class categories for current use, as well as, you know, site quality, you know, et cetera, access. And with that rating sheet, the rating system that you see with current use.
Mm-hmm.
And so that'd be something they can fill out, as well as basically they would have to resubmit a new current use map.
I think that's a great idea. Do you want to take the lead on that then, and you know, show us those forms, and you know, go ahead and set up how you want to collect the information, and once you have it, how you want to store it and keep it. Set it up the way you see best fit.
Okay.
I think.
And I think it's, you know, it's great with CAI coming on board with new tax,
Right.
because that can be in sync with people's property,
Right.
Property credits.
There's a lot of current use in Dorchester.
Oh yeah, all
Yeah.
mostly Dorchester is current use.
That's right. And so having accurate records of it is vital. Plus current use rates are changing. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay. All right. Great.
So I'll send you guys a draft in terms of a letter.
Okay.
I mean, if you want my name on it, that's fine. If not, it's fine as well. But
No, I think
it should be on the town letterhead as well.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be great if the town forest
Okay.
was on it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Terrific. Any questions, Larry?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Ryan.
This is, you signed in the wrong place, that's okay.
Okay.
If I get a copy
All right.
of this, it's okay. This is the sign. Awesome.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan. Mike, you want to tell us a little bit about the job description for the maintenance of town hall, town office? Because you've been working on this, I know.
Originally, Jessica has been known as the cleaning person. And we chose to change the name to cleaning person to facilities cleaner. And it gives a whole job list of different things. She's already read it. She agrees with everything. But I just think, you know, it's more professional.
Since a lot of residents use town hall especially, would you mind just reading off the list of responsibilities? I don't know, but people will be interested in what's so for it. Oh. All right.
I'm not going to start stuttering.
Okay, all right. So, the facilities maintainer and cleaner, the job description includes, receives oral and or written orders from the select board, performs work according to standard procedure and by building's operational schedule, cleans rooms, hallways, restrooms, offices, stairways, and windows, uses brooms, mops, and other floor equipment to strip and wax floors, uses vacuum cleaners to clean carpets, upholstered furniture, and blinds, dusts furniture and equipment, washes tables and chairs, washes walls, ceilings, woodwork, windows, doors, and windowsills as needed, so they do windows.
Yeah.
All right. Empty waste baskets, and that includes taking trash to the highway department dumpster. Replenish restroom supplies, replace light bulbs, prepare the town hall, for elections, meetings, and town gatherings. When it comes to elections, and the select board's also involved,
Right.
as part of that
Right.
too. Okay.
There's some of that.
Okay. Set up and take down chairs, tables, polling booths, and equipment in meeting room and function room. Remove snow from entranceways and walkways. Pick up and deliver supplies, materials to rooms. Follow all applicable safety rules and procedures. Open and close buildings according to security procedures. Report any problems and or issues encountered during job performance immediately to the select board. Small painting jobs. All right, and then qualifications are must have a valid New Hampshire driver's license to travel between town municipal buildings and transport supplies and materials. Skills and knowledge required would generally be obtained with previous experience in buildings, cleaning, and maintenance work. Ability to apply common sense, understanding to carry out detailed but uninvolved oral or written instructions. Ability to relate to official staff and public in a courteous manner. ability to lift and carry objects weighing from 15 to 25 pounds, ability to work occasionally in poor weather conditions, including heat, cold, rain, or snow. Well, this is remarkably comprehensive.
Well, is it like an official government?
Well, this is terrific.
So it should be notarized also.
Okay, all right. And I think that, you know, we've had discussions, this select board and the previous select boards, about job descriptions of various town employees and stuff. And I think that this could be kind of the first step forward to developing a whole catalog of job descriptions.
The road is helper,
Yeah, exactly.
all the way down.
Exactly. You know, it gives you a real documentation of what needs to be done, doesn't need to be done. Okay,
And if you notice, all three of us signs, and so does Jessica.
okay, all right.
I got a question.
Okay, yes, Darlene.
I don't know whose job description this is gonna go under, but roof raking,
Ah, good question.
because it is vital at the office, number one,
Yeah,
and that back kitchen roof. You know, if there's a lot of snow, it does not support.
Yeah.
I mean, it's virtually flat.
that's a really good question. I don't, since most of this is interior stuff, I wouldn't think it would go under this person, but
It did say shovel, that's why I asked.
this is
Shell
shall
blazer.
Yeah,
Highway or contractor.
Yeah, I would say highway,
yeah, I would think that that should go under the highway department.
the maintainer.
I don't care where it goes, I just wanted it
Yeah.
addressed because it's been an issue in the past.
Yeah, I know the pitch on the roof of the town office is pretty shallow, so,
Yeah, and it's pulling away from the building because
Yeah.
of the weight that gets left on it.
okay.
And
All
I
right.
think it might be the issue, one of the health and safety
Okay.
with the horrendous smell.
We will formalize that in a job description, I think probably in the highway department, but in the meantime, we'll make sure that the highway department knows that that's their responsibility.
Do we own a roof rake?
I don't know.
And while we're on this subject, we also need to purchase a new vacuum cleaner.
Yes, that's been brought up. What's wrong with the current one?
It's blowing dust everywhere.
It blows dust. That's sort of the opposite of what vacuum cleaner is supposed to
Is
do.
there a filter on it that they look at?
It's not my job.
Jessica, do you know when the last time the filter in the vacuum cleaner was cleaned? No? Well, before we authorize buying a new vacuum cleaner, can we just check that first?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that a clogged filter can really
Yeah.
make that exactly happen, so, okay. All right,
That's not the issue, it's not
okay, sorry.
that's the cost. It's your original.
I have the original. I don't have the original.
I have some copy.
Well,
I have a copy.
all right. I just have.
Here it is.
All right, great. Yeah. Yes. I'll make a motion that we accept this job description and qualifications description for the facilities maintainer.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, I have on here under old business the transfer of the emergency operations Communication Center from the town office to the town hall. And what I wanted to get to is pinpointing a date, but I want to postpone discussion and scheduling of that until our next meeting. If that's all right. Okay. Under new business, we have a proposal for 2 new personal computers for the town office. One's for Liz and one is for Anna, plus the installation. Liz, yours is the computer that's still has Vista on
It
it
has Vista
as
on
the
it.
operating
You
system.
can't update, I have to do all the updates.
So you're driving
You
a
can't
Model,
make this stuff
you're
up.
driving a Model T.
Yes, and it's mostly that it's a security risk.
Right.
It does the job I need it to do, and I'm
Right.
happy to do the updates manually, but it's a security risk.
Yes. And Anna, I know your computer's, I think it's got what, Windows 7 on it, but it's pretty old.
That's what it said.
Yeah, it's kind of problem. Well, I think that having adequate computer support in the town office is critical to running the town efficiently. So did we have a cost estimate here?
That's for 2, the labor, also computers,
Okay, so this is 2 computers
2 computers,
plus the installation
installation.
and the software to go with it.
I believe that was it too.
Yeah, it's got Windows 7.
And I believe that's the blocking the other.
The what? Oh, wiping. All right. Okay. All right. The total here is $1,879.98, which is a pretty good price for 2 computers plus somebody to come out and install them.
Yeah.
I move that we authorize this expenditure so that we can have up-to-date computer support in the town office. Is there a second? Okay, great. Thanks, Larry. Any further discussion?
Now, I've got 2 estimates here.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
let me explain that. 669.
yeah, one of them
One
was
was showing just for Liz. that's
just
one
for
that-
Liz's
Yeah.
computer.
And then the other one
Okay.
was showing the.
It's for both.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think
So
we
it's
should.
actually saving $1 too.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, any further discussion? No? All in favor?
I
Aye. Okay, great. New printers, new computers, man,
the office should be set.
it's gonna be humming down there. All right,
New
excellent.
alarm system today.
New alarm system put in, and next on the agenda, voicemail. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Water in the bathroom?
We don't want to do
that.
Now,
I'll trade the water.
let's not push it, Darlene. I mean, come on. No.
No, I'm saying we have to ask.
I know.
Just want to keep mentioning it.
She had that was built.
We will get the water in the bathroom. I promise.
I just had to throw that.
I know.
He runs another one.
Okay,
It's clean.
Anna, Darlene, or Liz, do you want to tell us a bit about the voicemail?
I called the company and they said that it would be $5 per line.
Okay, and this is just added to our regular.
It's just after the regular contract, so for you it would be 5, and for your line it would be 5. The only thing I question about their line is that theirs rings,
Yeah,
it goes to a fax machine, so
Right.
I don't know how that would work.
okay. We'll
I
check
think
with
we
the
would-
phone company about that.
We'd probably just have to do like one message for all of us.
So right now, there's no voicemail at the town.
There's nothing.
So phones just ring and ring. and
Should be
yeah,
something, yes.
there definitely should be something. Okay.
It's the only question.
I don't think anything else.
Yeah, I would think so
I
too.
think one would be enough,
I'm
and
gonna say
it
just
could cover
cover
line
one.
one. They probably can set it up where you press 1 for
Yeah, they
admin, press 2
Yeah.
for tax, press 3 for
Right.
assessing,
Yeah.
That
whatever.
way, their number is not compromised by the fax.
Jack,
I have a question. Are we using an old-fashioned fax machine? Are we using an old?
believe it or not, the state still requires some, requests on occasion, some documents to be faxed. In fact, there was a request like that today.
Why don't we use a service where the fax actually goes to where it gets faxed to a number and it actually sends a document to an email here. And then if we want to fax something out, we just scan it and send it off. There's software rather than relying on this old, fax machines.
Well,
I'm not kidding, we don't have scanners.
That's, it would say paper and resources, materials, things like that. If you would switch over to something like, sending a fax to a number and it automatically sends the document to, like, Town of Dorchester email address, or something like that.
Darlene, who uses the fax machine the most in the office?
I think we all do. You never use it?
Once, I think I used it.
We have to send stuff periodically to the DMV,
To
quickly.
the DMV, to Title Bureau.
And we get all the communications through Mascoma School
And
District.
the fax machine delivers all sorts of messages from different agencies, including the CDC and
Right.
emergency, whatever.
You can transfer sensitive information over fax.
That's true.
Without anybody interfering with it or getting it.
That's right, I remember we had that
That's the best
discussion.
thing, right?
Yeah,
Where you can't email sensitive information.
okay. Sounds like we should probably leave it as is for the time being, but I do remember that the subject came up about emailing file PDFs. And there is software so somebody could get in and if you send a PDF that had parts blacked out, people can there is software to get in there.
If you need it, let me know, I got it.
But the fax machine prevents that.
Right.
Yeah.
That is secure.
All right. I move that we add voicemail to the town office's telephone system, and whether it's on one line and that it's distributed to the others or what, I leave that to the people working the office to decide.
But I do believe that they are like going and saying you punch one for, say, Anna or her.
Okay.
The second one,
All right.
so.
Is there a second?
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Yes, now that the highway department, they have an old-fashioned phone with the recording system. I think that should be updated to voicemail, and then the road agent would be able to get the emails from anywhere instead of having to go there to get them. Get the phone calls, messages.
I think that's an excellent
I
idea.
think that they should have it too.
Yeah.
Also, I believe it's $5 extra.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's fine.
For being able to get the information, more easily, I think it's
See or
worth it.
whatever,
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Okay. So we'll add the voicemail at both the town office and at the highway department at $5 per line. Okay. Each. All right. Any further discussion? Okay. Just make the messages really polite. Or you can win one of the contests on Wait, Don't Tell Me, and Carl Castle will put his voice on your voicemail machine. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right. Okay. Kathy, Quinn, we had a request about merging two properties on Province Road, and Kathy, I want you to know that I followed up with Avatar about this, and this would be something that is done by the ZBA, so you just make an application to the zoning board of adjustment. They would blend the properties.
Where's the zoning board of adjustment?
Oh, where it's a committee here.
Dorchester?
Yeah, you don't have to, Dorchester.
Okay. But I would also like a letter from the town stating that my driveway is private property, that it's not Kimball Hill Road, because that was discontinued back in 1860.
Okay.
Because I don't want my children and my grandchildren to have to go through this again, because it's been in discussion for many years.
Sure. When you meet with the ZBA, have documentation about when the road was discontinued. discontinued, if you have a.
I'm gonna have to get that from the town because it's in the archives.
That's okay, yeah.
So,
All right,
Okay.
it's just a photocopy of that, and,
when do they meet, or do I just fill out the application and send it in?
that's what you do. They meet on an as-needed basis,
Okay.
so, you know, this would
Who's
be.
on the committee?
Sherman Halleck is the chairman of the committee.
Okay.
Who else is on the ZBA?
I'm the representative.
Larry is the select board representative. I think Cookie
Bill Trout's
Hoover
on it,
is on it.
Okay.
Bill Trout
Okay.
is on, okay.
And that's the ZBA?
Yeah, zoning board of adjustment.
Fine, I will, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Real quick, that's in regards to her tax bill, because it was just stated as merging two properties, but it's that we want one tax bill.
Right, well, yeah,
So is
and
that-
that's,
is that
merging the
the same
properties
thing?
would
Okay.
produce one tax bill.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, that was the point that, I'm sorry, I should have said that.
That's okay.
That was the point that Avatar made, is like, well, right now, technically, you've got two properties, so that's why you did two tax bills, so merging. I know what your deed says and all that, but according to Avatar in their records, I was just
Okay.
looking for the email here.
So once I fill out the application, the paperwork, send it in, Bill, but who's going to say that my driveway is private property?
That would be,
The zoning board?
the ZBA would make that recommendation to the
Okay.
board, and then we would.
All right.
Can I make the recommendation if you do if you find the warrant articles in the archives at the town office, and you have a copy, if you make copies of any road documentation, we have a roads file that's been building, because I have the same situation as you do. My property is split in half by so-called class 6 road, but we actually have the warrant article before. So basically, we're building information that has been around for a long time. So keep that and
What it's
give someone,
my family put the road in, the driveway in to get to the back
Right.
property.
pass copies of that to the town
We
for our
also
road
have, we
file.
also have the one, we're above us.
The road goes, it crosses the Dorchester Route line, so
Yeah.
we also have a warrant article from
Yeah,
Rock.
so,
That they discontinued the road in 1933. I just need the one for Dorchester from 1860. Okay.
yeah, we just went through that, we took pictures of the pages, and they're pretty proud of it.
Okay, so they can get us a picture of it.
You would have to take a picture somehow with a digital camera and all that.
I think the thing is that you have to go and dig through the archives.
Yeah,
It's us, it's the town clerk, we have to come see.
yeah.
They're having a stake, so we have to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just put on a piece of paper and give
Oh, I know.
the report for me.
There's actually several of us in town that,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I got the
We
same
can do that.
situation up there on our Bigfoot Woods Road property,
We're
too,
there
so.
We did too.
Yeah, so.
But
Kathy, do you know when that road was discontinued?
Which one?
The driveway.
The driveway was discontinued, according to Sherman, 1860. He said it 2 weeks ago when he was sitting here.
1860?
He said it was 1860 that the road was discontinued. And the road above us, which is Groton side, was discontinued in 1933.
Right, okay.
That's before class 6 designation.
Because it's 1860.
Yeah.
So,
Very funky town meetings.
yeah, we're fine.
So the CAI, our tax assessors, they have my information and they're updating the tax maps. And so if that gets off the tax map, they'll probably reduce a lot of that confusion. Because everyone's going on tax maps that
Yeah,
have been wrong.
I just want to get it back to one
Yeah.
tax bill.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. Okay, speaking of tax bills, on the Ward and your tax bill situation, I have a note about that. Ah, yes,
Sorry.
okay, hi.
Speaking of tax bills.
Yes.
My wife and I purchased 5 acres from my wife Susan, her sister Kathy.
You are,
I am Mike Yell,
yeah, okay,
part owner of the property. We have 5 acres we purchased from her in 2007.
right.
Now, after a few years, we realized we weren't getting a tax bill. And that she and her dad was actually getting the bill for the entire property, including the 5 acres. And what we realized was that the purchase wasn't recognized in in Dorchester.
Is it recorded at the Grafton County?
It's Grafton County, yes, I have a copy here.
Okay.
What happened was, my wife was battling cancer, and she kept trying to work with Linda Landry and get all the forms that we needed, all this correspondence. She kept coming to meetings, and basically, she couldn't get anywhere.
Okay.
And after a while, she couldn't battle the cancer and this as well. And so she went through the county to get the purchase in another legal manner.
Right.
And that's what I have here as a copy of this. And so what I wanted to do was get this recognized in Dorchester, get our own tax bill, and to straighten out the, it seems to be missing, but a lot of people don't know about it. Let me give you a copy of this,
Okay.
and you can look at it.
Was this just recently recorded at Grafton County Deeds?
No, it was
No,
2007.
In 2007.
Yeah.
So it was recorded at Grafton County Deeds, but it was never, somehow that information never was recorded.
Right.
Well, we'll have to check the files, it might,
Okay, all right.
I don't know
Thank
why
you. I
they
appreciate
could
this.
have sending that
They
stuff.
Okay.
So our office should have received that.
You did?
Or we should have
should have.
received that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to look in the files to see if it just got filed with the original lot and never separated out. And your name again?
My name is Mike Yell, White.
Okay.
Okay,
And
So this is
White
new-
Susan Quinn, you may
Yes.
recognize her name.
all right, we can get this straightened out.
Okay. Yeah, we'll follow up on this. Yes, I agree completely with Darlene. We can get this straightened out. Great. And Kathy, that's great of you to pay us a tax bill for something. Are you taking any others?
And this also was part of reasoning for, we plan on building a camp on the property. And in order to get permits and such, of course, we couldn't do that either unless this was
Obviously.
on the books.
Okay.
So looking down the road is another reason why I'd like to get that
Okay.
straightened out with the town.
Okay, Darlene will be in touch. All right.
Yeah, get
Great.
to that paper.
Okay, yes. Thanks so much.
You need that copy?
Yes, can I hang on to this?
Sure.
Okay, great. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, last but not least, under new business, we have you may have heard, we have an election coming up on Tuesday. Yeah. I believe Maria White is the ballot clerk. She's agreed to be the ballot clerk for the Democrat. Oh, Karen?
I talked to Josh and Maria and Sean the last election, and they asked me if I'd be one of the ballot clerks also.
Oh, okay, all right.
They had it also.
So it's all arranged and set up then, taken care of? Okay. And Liz, you're the supervisor,
I
right?
have been sworn in as a supervisor.
Okay.
Taking Chris's position until spring when somebody else will
Okay.
hopefully run.
Karen, thank you for taking care of that at the last
no problem.
gathering. So I appreciate that. Okay. Alrighty. This coming Saturday, the Grange has its craft bazaar here at the town hall. Come one, come all. It starts at 9 a.m., right?
Right. 9 to 3, we're serving hot lunch.
Okay, excellent.
Chili, corn chowder, or beef soup,
And pies.
and pie.
Okay, all right. That sounds great.
We have baked beans.
That's like a rummage
Yeah.
thing.
I know, it's the chili.
She makes
It's the
us
chili.
baked beans.
Okay. All right, open it up to the public. Any concerns, issues on people's minds? Margaret?
I've got just two real quick.
Okay.
Just a request, and I can put it in writing, if there could be a horse crossing sign put in, or a caution watch for horses. We've just gotten two, and
Oh.
we've got neighbors over here on the beginning of North Dorchester Road that have horses as well. They're
Okay.
planning, my daughter and a friend up the road planning to ride together.
Okay,
And we've been
so,
going up and down, it's just to keep people slow.
so the horses would cross the road as part of this riding?
Well, yeah, riding up and down the road, I just want people
Oh,
to be
okay.
aware, there may be, whether they're walking or riding.
Okay.
And I know there's others that come and park here with a trailer.
Okay.
I think legally, it has to be posted.
Yeah.
Yes, but
There's a state RSA that states that.
Okay. I'll check and see what the exact language of the sign needs to be, whether it's walk for horses or horse
It's
crossing.
only a picture of a horse, it says horse crossing.
Yeah, I think that's what
With the speed limit of 25 miles an hour.
Okay. All right, we'll make a note of that and we'll follow up. Thanks.
And, well, I'll do a couple of things that I can wait. I know that there's no deputy EMD right now, and hasn't been. I talked with the current EMD really briefly on this earlier. I'm willing to be the deputy
Oh,
and
okay.
try and take that on and help out.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that I have to be appointed by the current one.
okay.
I don't know if it has to go through the board or what needs to be done.
The board members has to appoint.
Yeah, the select
Okay,
board
so
actually.
deputy as
makes it
well,
fun.
okay. 'Cause
Okay.
so if that's
Okay.
a possibility, I'd be willing to do it.
Okay, all right, well, thank you. I appreciate you volunteering for that, and we'll take that, to have a discussion about that. All right, okay. Thanks very much, Margaret.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Anything, John?
Just one small thing. You guys take a lot of effort to keep the building secure, you change a lot of locks, and when it comes down to the emergency operations centers here, I don't think we should fit any more keys around. And if the EM director needs to get a key, he can get it from any one of you guys or the custodian of the building. Because it just becomes the case that so many keys get out, something gets loose, something breaks down, so. It's not that the key wouldn't be available, there are not people around us.
Right. Okay. All right, as you know, we haven't moved that operation. Okay, all right, thanks for, take that under consideration.
Fine.
Well, okay, all right. Anything else? Liz.
The light block, is that going into?
Oh.
Okay, it's all been approved, we just gotta figure out if you guys are gonna sign up, to pay for it yourself at first, and then submit the bill to the town. Or, we gotta figure out a way to do it,
Okay,
because she has a limit on it.
oh, that's right. Okay, so, Mike, can you follow up with the LifeLock people? I mean, would they accept a check from the town, so we could do it?
I'll find out.
Yeah, so we could get it on the manifest and. Yeah, right, okay, all right,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's $109 and change for the first year, and the second year, I think it's
Something like that,
$190
yeah.
and change.
I think so, yes. Okay, all right, so if we could get that on the manifest and taken care of, that would be great.
We'll do that on Monday.
Okay, thanks. Jack?
I'll be happy to assist Michael with that. I think what we can do is he can get a coupon code or a promo code
Uh-huh.
from LifeLock, prepay it, and then they would enter it and register their information.
Okay,
So I'll work with Michael and help him get that.
okay,
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
acceptable.
all right, yep.
It's my PC.
Sounds good.
That he's using.
All right, anything else, folks? Darlene?
I haven't heard anything about this for a while, but with the winter coming, the Cheever Chapel, it was voted that we do the survey. I don't know what's happened with that. And that window, I don't know if it's gonna make another winter.
Yeah.
Have we took the
Larry, you've got those documents
I-
from Grace.
Yes, and I'm still going through them to figure out if I can find a reason or not.
Okay,
I'll have to make a determination pretty quick and go ahead with the survey.
okay. I agree with you about the window. I'm not sure that it'll make it. I wonder if there's some way we could shore it up.
Can I speak freely?
Yeah.
There used to be a piece of plexiglass over it, and that was removed.
Oh, yeah?
So maybe something like that could be done, just to keep
Well,
it
it'd have to be on both
on
sides.
both
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah,
I don't know, because it's like buckling
I
in,
know,
so
it's
I don't know.
scary. But if we don't
What
own
number
it,
is
we
this?
can't take it out.
That's right.
it's the stained glass window in the front of the chapel, and it's buckling in a couple of spots, and it's a beautiful window.
Yeah.
It's not something we would want to lose.
Yeah.
And it dates back to when the chapel was built, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a picture
And
of
somebody
that?
famous did it.
Yeah, and it's a fairly
We can't touch it.
valuable window.
What?
Well,
Still
that's,
private property.
We don't own
yeah,
it.
it's still private property. We could get permission from the property owners.
Right.
to shore up the window, and that probably won't be a problem, but I can follow up on that.
I think there was information about what, that it had to be, somebody researched it, and I believe it was Betty Ann.
It was.
It would have to be removed to restore it.
Right.
And whether that would be the smartest thing to do at this time, I don't know, but
Yeah.
just so that you're aware of that.
Okay. I remember that discussion, and, but if we can just do something to protect it for the winter, because I guess we still have some sorting out to do with the deed and,
Right.
et cetera. Okay. All right, I'll follow up on that with property owners. Ryan?
I was gonna offer, just, Larry mentioned the deed. I mean, I'm at Grafton County Deed's office. Lately, I've been there once a week. I was just there all day today, practically. So, if you need any information, any leads, I mean, I do a lot of that stuff, and I know that a lot of stuff is unrecorded as well.
Maybe sometime in the very near future, I get together with you and I'll show you
Okay.
what I have for paperwork and
Okay.
see if you can find something.
I mean, I don't know if I'll spend all day on it,
Oh,
but I can spend some time looking up stuff
Yeah.
at the time.
well, thank you, Ryan.
Okay. All right, the select board's going to go into a non-public session under RSA 91-A:3A to discuss a couple of things. So this concludes the public portion of tonight's meeting. Thank you again for coming. Oh, I'm sorry.